morning in Bandungan, the sun's rays began to gently penetrate the thin clouds floating in the sky. The weather was bright, cool, and exuding a new spirit, as if nature itself wanted to join in the celebration of the long-awaited annual event, the Bandungan Flower Carnival. The streets were bustling from dawn, with vendors rolling up their tents, unfurling their umbrellas, and young people running around carrying banners bearing the names of the communities or studios that would be performing at the carnival. However, the excitement bore its own shadow, the inevitable long traffic jam. The Bandungan Ambarawa Road, usually a busy and main connecting route on weekends, had now turned into a sea of nearly stationary vehicles. From a distance, the sound of traffic sirens clashed with the honking of vehicle horns, a relentless urban orchestra. 9:00 a.m. Web first wave of traffic congestion at the Lema Abang intersection. Signs of a slowdown in traffic began to appear. Private cars, logistics trucks, Bandungan Ambarawa public transportation, public minibuses, and motorcycle convoys began to be hampered. Residents trying to get to Bandungan Market were forced to get off the public transportation and walk. One of the drivers, Mr. Sarjono, around 50 years old, looked anxious. He was driving his wife and grandchildren to watch the carnival, but after more than 20 minutes, their car had only moved about 3 meters. Gosh, if the traffic is like this, the carnival might end before we get there, he complained, wiping away sweat. On the right side of the road, a young man named Tigar sat on his motorcycle, photographing the crowd. He was planning to create a vlog about the carnival atmosphere, but the content ended up being about Bandungan's traffic jam, not the carnival. He joked to a police officer standing in the middle of the road, trying to untangle the traffic. 10:30 a.m. Web tensions receded. Traffic flow became increasingly dense, and was now almost stagnant around Jimbaran Market. The atmosphere began to heat up, not only because the sun was rising high, but also because drivers' patience was being tested. Cars with out-of-town license plates, such as HB and AB, dominated. Many tourists from Semarang, Jogja, Solo, and even from outside Java were curious to see the Bandungan Flower Carnival. A truck carrying stage equipment and decorations stalled on a bend, adding to the chaos. Transportation agency officers and carnival volunteers tried to push the vehicle to the side. However, the road was so narrow, even small vehicles had difficulty passing. Meanwhile, in the middle of the road, a line of carnival participants began to appear. Teenagers in giant flower costumes, traditional dancers, and various ogo-ogo cartoons of various shapes. The procession moved slowly but steadily. Spectators on the side of the road cheered, but drivers stuck behind complained. Wow! If I'd known the traffic would be this bad, I'd have just gone via Jambu, said a travel driver, patting his steering wheel. The passengers inside looked resigned. A grandmother even got out of her car and sat on the edge of the sidewalk. While watching the carnival participants passing by, instead of getting angry, "It's better to just watch," she said. 12:00 p.m. Web heat and Vendorsi sun was directly overhead, and the traffic jam was worsening. Now, the congestion wasn't limited to the main road, but also spread into small alleys. Many drivers took the initiative to turn around, but instead created gridlock was in the village. Vendors took advantage. They hawked iced tea, fried snacks, meatballs, and grilled sausages to stranded vehicles. Amidst the traffic, the sound of iced tea, only 3,000 rupiah echoed, accompanied by impatient honking. A small child was crying from the heat in the car. His mother opened the window wide and fanned him with an event flyer. "Come on, don't fuss. We'll see the ogo later," she coaxed. But the child's cries only added to the small commotion amidst the chaotic traffic. 1:30 p.m. The main road becomes a spectator's arena because the parade didn't move. Some residents parked their vehicles haphazardly on the side of the road and watched the carnival from up close. The Bandungan Ambarawa road transformed into a pedestrian area. Children sat on car hoods. Mothers took selfies with the carnival participants, and teenagers posed in the middle of the road with figures from the arts community. At one point, a tall, striking white tiger-shaped ogo slowly moved, accompanied by the sounds of gamelan music and the beating of a drum. The crowd cheered, but not far away, a truck driver shouted from inside the cabin, "Please move. I have to deliver goods to Semarang." But who could move? 3 p.m. Light rain and new problems. Sky began to cloud over. A cool breeze from the slopes of Mount Ungaran brought the damp smell of leaves and the aroma of earth. Raindrops began to fall. Some spectators began to open their plastic raincoats or umbrellas. Carnival participants wearing costumes made of paper and synthetic materials began to panic, afraid their costumes would be ruined by the wetness. Meanwhile, several motorcyclists who dared to force their way through from the opposite lane only made the situation worse. The police were forced to intervene, demanding they back off, albeit in a loud voice. The traffic jam hadn't subsided yet. 4:30 p.m. The streets become a sea of trash after the rain stopped. Small puddles appeared on the sides of the road. Plastic trash was scattered. Mineral water bottles, food packaging, scraps from carnival flyers. The